Chapter 31 My Life in a Series. See you in the next life. That's what my father said to my grandmother before leaving for the hospital. I didn't know what to think at that time. I was utterly confused. I didn't fully understand what was happening, only that my father was obsessed and smoked often. I had never dealt with a death or life experience in my family before. So hearing those words felt unreal. There were many times when the doctor said he had only 2 weeks left to live. It was painful to hear. Looking back, the time I spent with him felt filled with regret. Not because of something I did, but because we never had the kind of bond that most kids hope to have with their dads. He wasn't really a father figure to me. He chose food, sleep, and television over being present in my life. What I regret is not being able to help him change, but I realized that observing his choices taught me what not to do. His life became a guide for the man I don't want to become. It's okay, Mom. I can wait for a car. That's what my sister told our mother after getting her driver's license. She had been excited, like any teenager would be, to get a car. But this was during COVID, and we were both doing school online from our living room. I was on a Zoom call, raising my hand and speaking up, but it was like I was invisible. My sister noticed I wasn't getting assigned any homework. I thought it was normal because I always been in public schools. She asked if that kind of thing happened in person too. I said, yes. That's when she realized something had to change. I was being overlooked and ignored, discriminated against because of my learning differences. So, she made a choice. Instead of asking for a car, she asked our parents to use that money to find a school that could help me thrive. She did the research herself and helped me find a school that embraced my autism and wanted me to succeed. Welcome to Gateway. That's what I heard when I started at my new school. It was more than just a greeting. It felt like a promise, a fresh start, a place where I would finally be supported that to one that expected me to grow, think critically, and develop real life skills. But I stuck with it, and I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I owe a lot to my sister, who cared enough to make sure I landed in the right place. You should do Vanderbilt online coding over the summer. One of my teachers said, that moment changed everything. I had always liked technology, but this was different. I had the chance to dive deeper and actually study coding. That course helped turn a casual interest into a passion. Now I want to make it as a career. I wanted to wake up every morning looking forward to the work I do. Coding gave me direction. Do you want to try field hockey? My sister asked me one day. She was a goalkeeper and loved everything about the sport. I think at first she was just needed someone to shoot on during practice, but the sport became something more for me. I played to support her, but I also played to show that boys can be part of field hockey too. In America, the sport is almost entirely for girls. There are no NCAA men's teams, only practice squads. Still, I found meaning in helping grow the game. Playing with the Houston Velocity Club gave me space to be creative and contribute ideas. One idea I came up with was to bring field hockey to Gateway and as an after-school activity. I wanted other students with learning differences to have that same opportunity to discover something new and empowering. And I wanted boys to know they belong too. Adaptability. The word means the quality of being able to adjust to new conditions. That's my life. I had to learn to adapt to almost everything, changing schools, changing environments, facing personal loss, and discovering new parts of myself. But adaptability doesn't come naturally. It takes willingness. Willingness is a skill that grows with time, experience, and effort. You have to be open to what's new, even if it's uncomfortable or unfamiliar. Whether it's my father's illness, my sister's sacrifice, moving to a new school, learning to code, or stepping into a sport I had never played, I choose to be willing. And because of that, I learned to adapt. I learned that every moment, even the painful ones, holds opportunity. Willingness is the first step. Adaptability is what helps you move forward. Chapter 32 My Bar Mitzvah. July 7, 2023, a day I will always remember. This was my bar mitzvah, and it meant the world to me. Every Sunday at temple, I tried to be helpful. I walked through the halls to make sure students are in class and bring snacks to the kids ages 5 through 7. It makes me feel proud to help the teachers and keep things running smoothly. The temple is a place where I feel happy and safe, and being part of it makes me feel like I belong. On the day of my bar mitzvah, I stood on the bama with confidence and joy. I had waited a long time for this moment, and it felt special to share it with my family, friends, and my temple community. I gave a speech and shared my thoughts, and I also gave thanks to the people who have helped me along the way. I want to thank my sister for always looking out for me and supporting me. Thank you to my parents for giving me a good education and being amazing parents. Thank you to my uncle Chuck for always being there. Thank you to Stephanie for letting me help her during MPGLC both last year and this year. Thanks to David Scott for making me feel welcome at Temple. Thank you to Rabbi Lion, Rabbi Scout, and Counter 5 Bush for guiding me and being kind. Thank you to Mike Mason for helping me with my speech. I also thank all my teachers from over the years who helped me grow and learn. Most of all, I wanted to thank God for my past, my present, and the life I have ahead. One of them, one thing I've learned is the importance of helping others. At school, if someone is having a bad day, I ask them, "Do you want to talk about it?" I listen carefully so they know I care. At temple, I help clean up, bring juice, collect prayer books, and support the younger students. Being helpful is about noticing when someone needs a hand and being there for them. Respect is also very important. Respect means saying please and thank you during doing my work and speaking kindly to others. I try not to yell to or be rude because that's not how I want to treat people. Respect means showing kindness and good manners. My bar mitzvah was not just a ceremony, it was a reminder that I am growing up, becoming more responsible, and learning how to be part of a community. Like Dr. Seuss said, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Shabbat Shalom. Chapter 33. My sister's strong letter to Caleb. Hallie sat at the kitchen table, her fingers trembling as she typed the words she had been holding in for months. The screen glowed with her honest frustration, words she couldn't keep inside any longer. She hated reaching out to Caleb, her cousin, and this wasn't just a choice, it was something she had to do. I hate contacting you, she wrote, because you only show up when you wanted something or when Uncle Chuck tells you to. You treated me like I'm just a family connection, not real family. The weight of everything pressured on her chest. Augie was gone, their beloved dog, like a silent family member. But no one had the courage to tell her. She found out from her uncle on a random Tuesday after her mother saw Caleb and the others digging a hole just days before. At the time, her mother hadn't thought much of it, but Hallie knew. It was a sign of neglect and silence. Her mind flashed back to August 2021. Caleb was working in China while Uncle Chuck was hospitalized with COVID-19. It had been me, her, our mother and grandmother, who held the family together, caring for Uncle Chuck when others stayed away out of fear. She remembered the nights at his hospital bed, feeding him rice pudding and snacks, watching as he grew too weak to eat. She sacrificed more than she realized, turning down a field hockey trip to be by his side on a ventilator. She'd given up future chances to be there when it mattered most. She cleaned up after himself when he couldn't even help himself. No one else stepped up like that. But the truth was complicated. John, Caleb's brother, had taken credit for managing the house while under heavy medication, leaving much of the work to her family. And when Uncle Chuck finally came home, it was her family who brought canes, walkers, and even an Apple Watch so he could call for help if he fell. Caleb and John's neglect hurt deeply. Hallie didn't hold back in her letter. She confronted Caleb about how he disrespected her mother, calling her Shannon instead of Aunt Shannon, mocking her, laughing when the police came because of a trespasser instead of standing with them. "I don't respect you, Caleb," she wrote bluntly, "and you don't respect my family." Auggie's death wasn't just a loss, it was a symbol of neglect. Augie didn't just pass away, he died from heat stroke because he was left outside too long in the Texas heat. Caleb and his family ignored warnings, blamed her mother for another pet's death, and failed to, to care for Augie like Uncle Chuck once did. She demanded answers. Why wasn't Augie cared for? Why was he left to suffer? Then she called out Caleb's hypocrisy. Smoking weed and hookah instead the house around a dog with breathing problems and a sick uncle who need oxygen. Hallie was furious. Who was Caleb to tell her when to contact him? It wasn't the police. She called out his immaturity, lack of respect, responsibility, and how he mocked Uncle Chuck's struggles. She ended the letter bitterly about how Caleb's family erased Augie from the family pet Instagram account, deleting his memories like he never existed. Hallie hit send, heart pounding. She wasn't scared. She wanted Caleb and everyone else to know that despite the anger and pain, she loved her uncle furiously. She wanted them to face the truth together, and with that, she sent a copy to Uncle Chuck. I'm not afraid of you talking behind my back. She wrote at the end, best regards, your favorite cousin Hal. July 31st, June 2nd, 2025. Today I asked my sister if she got the towels I needed for camp. Instead of answering, she told me that our mother was drunk. I know my mother is stressed too. She's been dealing with so much lately, especially watching everything she has to handle alone. Sometimes I get really angry about all of this. I needed a space to think, so I'm at my neighbor's house. I went upstairs and ate some blueberries to calm myself down. Later I called my mom. I asked her why my sister didn't bring me the towels, especially since she has like 10 of them at home. My mother told me she was on the phone and couldn't talk. That made me even more upset. In that moment I said she was drunk, something I regret now. But here's the truth. I've seen things that bother me. I saw my mother drinking inside my sister's car and driving off, smirking and acting all crazy. I've seen her lying and laying in the doorway, yelling and saying she's tired. But if she's really tired, then why doesn't she take care of herself like at least wash her face or rest? It hurts to see her like that because deep down I know she's trying. I also know she's overwhelmed. That's why I apologized to her, and I also wrote her a letter to say how I really feel. In the letter, I told her, I'm sorry for disrespecting you by calling you drunk. You do so much for me. And I realize that now, for real. I also know you worked the 3 jobs while my father didn't do anything for all of us. On top of that, you worked 3 more jobs by being both a mom and a dad to me and Hallie, while still taking care of Gigi. I appreciate you more than ever, and this time it's permanent. After reading it, my mom said she loves me, and I told her I loved her too. Chapter 35. I just want to be safe. Summer 2025. I've been thinking a lot about college lately. I'm excited about starting at college, but there's something I can't ignore. Everyone talks about roommates and making new friends, but that part doesn't feel easy to me. Not because I don't want to meet people, but because I want to be safe. When I asked Dr. Stephen Cook for a letter that would help me get a single dorm, he didn't give me one. He just said that people at there are nice and that I should be fine with a roommate. But that's not how I feel. He didn't really get it. I don't know anyone there. Everyone is a stranger. Some of them drink alcohol or use drugs. And while that might not bother other people, it bothers me. I've worked hard to feel safe in my own skin, and I can't afford to risk that by being stuck in a room with someone whose choices make me feel unsafe. Dr. Cook didn't seem to understand that part of me. He just assumed I'll be okay. But I know myself better than that. Back in middle school, before I came to Gateway, I was bullied. I used to feel like I had nowhere to hide, no place to just exist without being watched or laughed at. Transferring to Gateway helped me find peace, but it also taught me how important it is to have a space where I can breathe, a space where I can recharge, a space where I feel safe. That's why I asked for a single dorm, not because I wanted to shut people out, but because I need somewhere to feel steady. So I decided to write the letter myself. If no one else was going to stand up for me, I would. Here's what I wrote. To whom it may concern, my name is Giuseppe Villavecchia Bailey. I will be attending college in fall 2025. I am writing to respectfully request a single dorm room for health and personal well being reasons. I understand that many students have roommates, but I do not feel safe or comfortable sharing a room with someone I do not know. I have concerns about my ability to focus and feel secure if placed in a shared environment, especially if my roommate engaged in behaviors such as drinking alcohol or using drugs. I do not know anyone at the university yet, and I'm not comfortable being placed in an unfamiliar situation that could impact my safety or mental health. While my doctor, Dr. Stephen Cook, did not provide a letter of support, I strongly believe that a single room would help me transition better into college life and maintain my well being. Please consider this request seriously. I wanted to start my college journey on the right foot, and feeling safe in my living space is very important to me. Thank you for your understanding. Sincerely, Giuseppe Villavecchia Bailey. I don't think asking for a safe space is too much. I'm not trying to be difficult, I'm just trying to take care of myself. And sometimes that means speaking up when others don't see what you're going through. This is me doing just that.